a statement. Rounding to third. There's one. There's two. There it is. It's a triple play. The 2-1. High fly ball. Deep right center. There it goes.
What's up, Yankees universe? KOD Nation, stand up. And all you DJs, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. This Thursday, November 10th. It is 11 o'clock in the morning, and we are on episode 98 of the Yankees Morning Brew. Oh, yeah. But, Yankee fans, we got some things to talk about because the Yankees, right? The Yankees out there trying to do what it do, baby. But no, all honestly, the GM meetings are happening right now as we speak. Brian Cashman came out a day or so ago, and he talked about the competition at shortstop when spring training starts. He talked about Volpe, talked about Peraza. So that's something good to look at. Oh, shout out to the chat. My man Chris the Flash is in the building. Chris, what it do, baby? And if you haven't followed Chris's channel on YouTube, go ahead. He dropped some good insight when it comes to the Yankees in this offseason. And of course, my brother, my man's Pots and Pants, Jigga Man Porto. But yeah, Yankee fans, let's talk real quick. Gonna keep it short and sweet. I was supposed to have Jason from 161 River Ave, but he hit me up this morning. He wasn't feeling that good. So you know what? I told him, Jason, just take a rest. We'll come back next week, Thursday, right? So this episode, it'll probably be for about like 30, 45 minutes. Well, let's just keep it going. Oh, and of course, Mikey Mazza and the Fort Train Express. Mikey Mazza, what it do, baby? But yeah, Yankee fans, let's talk because the offseason has begun. Today is Thursday, November 10th, like I said a little while ago. And today is the last day of exclusive negotiations between Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees. Tomorrow, Aaron Judge officially hits the free agent market. I'm nervous. I know I'm nervous. Yankee fans, let me know how you feel in the chat. Are you nervous for what's kind of coming forward or what's coming down the pipeline? Because I am. And, oh, man, I have a feeling I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 on it. I want Aaron Judge back as a Yankee, but when it comes to the reports that are out there, some say that he's going to San Francisco. Some are saying the Dodgers. And when it comes down to it, I think it's just all speculation, right? This is hot stove season, so you have to have something stoking the fire. But I think Aaron Judge is going to wait to the winter meetings. I don't think this will get wrapped up anytime soon. Get ready for a ride. Put some coffee on. Get your kettle going. Because this free agency is going to be for a minute. A hot minute. And I don't think the Yankees can wait around. We got Anthony Rizzo out there who opted out of his contract. We offered him a qualifying offer, which I would have, because regardless if he takes it or not, a qualifying offer for Rizzo, he made $16 million last year. So 19.5, 19.8, whatever it is, it's a $3 million raise for Rizzo. So he may be inclined to take it if he doesn't get that multi-year deal that he's trying to get. And like I said before on other shows, if I was the Yankees, I'll offer Rizzo a 3-year contract, $20 million apiece, $20 million a year, $22 million a year, 3 years, $66 million, a $6 million raise. I think Rizzo deserves it. Rizzo was a leader for our team, leader in the clubhouse, the only position player that has a championship pedigree. Besides Aroldis Chapman, there was no other pitcher on the Yankees staff that won a championship. So Anthony Rizzo is the only player that's been in that championship dog run when it comes to being in the World Series. So we definitely need our leader back when it comes to Anthony Rizzo. But of course, Aaron Judge. If you guys haven't seen, there's an interview out there with Nick Swisher. I recommend you to go watch it. Nick Swisher, he works with the Yankees. He's close with the Yankees. Nick Swisher has literally turned into like probably one of the biggest Yankee fans in the world. and he breeds and he bleeds Yankees pinstripes. And Nick Swisher talked about Judge's free agency, and he said he wants Judge to be back with the captainship or attached to it, and that's what I want. Go out there, give $320 million to Aaron Judge, $360 million, whatever it takes to sign Aaron Judge. You do that, and you bring him back to the fold. You bring him back to the Bronx. Shout out to my guy, LI Yankee King is in the building. LI, what it do, baby? My man Christopher Flash says they can't wait this year. I hate that approach. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And we got to shake things up when it comes to the front office also. Like I told you guys last time, there was a Derek Jeter was on the Drink Champs podcast. If you haven't seen that episode with Derek Jeter on the Drink Champs podcast, go ahead, go watch that. It was a great episode. On top of it, just Derek Jeter wasn't scared to hold back when it came about talking about certain things, especially when it came about talking about the Yankees, the front office, and analytics. I got a little excerpt here, a little takeaway. This is what Derek Jeter talked about when it came to analytics, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. Derek Jeter says, analytics have taken over the game. Joe Torre used to always say, you can't measure a person's heartbeat. You can't necessarily just take a player from Milwaukee and plug him into New York and think the same thing's going to happen. That's more pressure. Analytics cannot measure everything. And I think the game has gotten very, very, very analytical, which I agree with the captain 100%. Oop, shout out to my man Tats and the Pinstripe Chronicles. What it do, what it do, what it do. Yeah, he said, thank you for proving what I've been saying about Brian Cashman for 6 years. He's a god-awful GM. Yeah, and like I said, if you haven't seen that interview with Derek Jeter on Drink Champs, go ahead, because he said a mouthful, and he said some really, really good things. He talked about when he was a free agent for the first time and how that whole process went. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember reading the newspaper articles. I remember reading every back page of the Daily News, not the New York Post because I can't stand them, but the Daily News every day going to the bodega to buy me a 50-cent Daily News, 75-cent Daily News. That's when they were 50 cents back in the days. They ain't no more 50 cents. It's like $1, if I think, $1 and some change. But yeah, hit it right on the head when he talked about Brian Cashman. And low-key, Derek Jeter, he may say what he may say, but I don't think Derek Jeter likes that man that much. Not at all. But hey, that's for us to speculate. But when it comes to this offseason, there's several key things that the Yankees need to do. Of course, Aaron Judge, Andrew Benintendi. We have to circle around that wagon because to see what's up with Andrew Benintendi. But there's another guy that emerged coming over from the East. Yoshida Masataka. I want him with the Yankees so bad. I want him in left field with the Yankees. I know we traded for Andrew Benintendi and everybody want to bring back Benintendi, but this guy, I think he's a piece in this lineup that we're missing. Automatically, he could be in the leadoff spot or automatically just because he doesn't strike out. He hardly strikes out. He's a contact hitter. That's what we need at the top of the lineup. He draws walks. He gets on base. That's what we need at the top of that lineup. You know, I appreciate DJ LeMahieu and what DJ LeMahieu has done for us, but DJ LeMahieu can't be our leadoff hitter next year. No way. No way. He's broken down, injuries. DJ LeMahieu cannot, I repeat, cannot be our leadoff hitter next year. He could come back. He could be a key part of this offense. He'd be a key part of this lineup, but he can't be in the leadoff spot. I'm sorry. Gleyber Torres, as much as we loved you, Gleyber, you got to go. You got a little bit of value. You got to go. We got to pair you up with Josh Donaldson. We got to figure out something. Even if the Yankees, they got to eat Josh Donaldson's contract, eat the contract. Eat the contract up. You got to do it. Hold on 1 second, because I gotta send this out real quick. But guys, let me know in the chat. Look, I got NY Yankee King out there saying he would trade LeMahieu. Now, trading him, that's not something that I would do, right? Like I said, I would entertain moving him around in the lineup. Trading DJ LeMahieu, that's something I won't do. I think DJ LeMahieu earned that much. Let's see when he comes back, right here, because he has a few years left on his contract, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 years left on his contract. If he comes back, let him be a super utility, because he could play second base, he could play first base, and he could play third base. So if we decide to go with the youth, right? If we decide to, out of spring training, we trade Gleyber Torres, before spring training, and we go into spring training with Volpe and Peraza battling for the shortstop and second base spot. That way, we still got DJ LeMahieu, who could give one of them a day off. If you got DJ LeMahieu playing second base, you can have either Volpe or Peraza play shortstop. Or you can have Volpe or Peraza play shortstop, second base, and have DJ play third base. Because we got to get off of that Josh Donaldson contract. Let's see right here in the chat what we got going on in the chat. Mikey Mazza says Aaron Judge needs to be priority. If they can't lock him up and he walks, then we got to go out, re-sign Benny, and spend money. We have to stop playing this poverty game. Yep. I went deep into the numbers last episode, Mazza. But Mazza, if you missed it, I'm going to say this again, especially for the people who's watching right now. When it comes to the free agency, right? When it comes to spending money with the Yankees, the last time the Yankees won a championship back in 2009, the team was evaluated by Forbes at $1.9 billion. That is what the team was worth back in 2009. In 2022, going into 2023, that same team, that same family is worth $6.6 to $6.8 billion. The Yes Network alone nets them $4.5 billion a year. So you take that 6.6 with that 4.5, you add that up, that's $11 billion. There should be no reason why the Yankees allow Aaron Judge to walk away. None whatsoever. If you go out there and get Yoshida, the guy from Japan, that TV deal alone that the Yankees are going to work out with Japan, that way his games are played back home, that TV deal alone will be $60 to $100 million. Just the TV deal. So that TV deal alone pays for Aaron Judge's contract, pays for Yoshida's contract, and whatever tax penalties follow with it. Because if we think about it, 60 to 100 million, let's just say it's 80, right in the middle. If Aaron Judge's contract is worth 40 million a year and Yoshida is worth 20 million, that's 60 million right there with 20 million left to play with. Don't mess with me. Please don't mess with me. I know I graduated New York City public school systems, but please don't mess with me. The Yankees, they have the money to go out there and sign Aaron Judge. They have the money to go out there and get Yoshida from Japan. They have the money to go out there and on top of those two players, go out there and nail themselves a Carlos Rendon or a Justin Verlander. They have the money to spend. The Yankees have at least $112 to $115 million coming off the books. Coming off the books. They need to reinvest that into the team. $112 million coming off the books. That's not including Josh Donaldson horrible contract. And I'm tired of this. I do not want to hear this defense of Josh Donaldson no more. He played a good glove at third base, right? Gold glove, if you want to say that. If you want to say he should have won a gold glove, okay, cool. Say he should have won a gold glove. But when we traded for Josh Donaldson, we didn't trade for Josh Donaldson for his glove because we already had Gio Urshela there at third base. We traded Josh Donaldson off of the potential of his home run power, of his track record of his career. Brian Cashman must have thought he was getting a 2.0 version of Josh Donaldson MVP in Toronto, but what we got with the Yankees wasn't that. Josh Donaldson at the plate was garbage. He was god awful at the plate. Now, when you listen to all these sports radio shows, whether it's the Michael Kay show, whether it's Tiki and Tierney, whether it's Boomer and Boomer Esiason, Boomer and Geo, whether it's Sweeney Murdy's podcast that he has with Keith McPherson, everybody brings up the fact that Josh Donaldson's glove at third base was fantastic. Josh Donaldson should have won a Gold Glove at third base this past season with the Yankees. His defense was good. I give him that. But we didn't trade for Josh Donaldson for his defense. We traded for his offense. Josh Donaldson hit 226, 15 home runs, and 60 RBIs. That's hard. That's horrible spending. Whoever was in the scouting department, whoever was in the analytical department and said, you know what? This is good because his exit velo is still good. He's still putting the bat onto the ball. His exit velo is still good. He may be getting some bad luck outs, but his exit velo was still good. What was it this year? Because I know it wasn't what it was the year prior when it comes to his exit velo. Is the analytical department for the Yankees, are they going to put out how many double plays Josh Donaldson hit into? Are they going to put out how many times Josh Donaldson stranded a runner on third base with less than 2 outs and didn't get that sacrifice fly? Is the analytical department going to let us know that Josh Donaldson cost us 5 games minimum with his defense, especially coming out of the All-Star break, that series against Boston? I don't think so. I don't think so. And like I said prior on the last show, right? When it comes to Brian Cashman and this front office, when it comes to the analytics, it's good to have data, because when you look at analytics, it's just advanced stats, right? It's basically when baseball players used to have that book, in the dugout, making all their notes for all the pitchers in the league. It's basically an advanced version of that. It's good to have that. But at the same time, you have to have somebody who could interpret the data, take that data, and then put it on the field. If you don't have anybody that's smart enough to interpret the data, to go with their gut feeling, and to go out there and put a product on the field, you are lost. You are shooting yourself in the foot. It starts at the top and it trickles all the way down. Like I said, Brian Cashman has been with this team since 1986. He still doesn't have a contract right now. And like I said on the last show, I wonder if him and Hal, they have a silent understanding between the two of them that Brian Cashman's contract extension, or the details of his contract extension, it all falls on what happens with Aaron Judge. Because if Aaron Judge walks, I don't think Brian Cashman is a GM of the Yankees or in his position. That's just me. I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll eat the crow shoot. I don't care. I'll eat that. But when it comes to this offseason, which I feel is probably one of the most important off seasons in recent history, we got to go out there and spend some money. I'm going to look up real quick. Let me look up real quick. Let me pull it because I had it, but then, things happen with technology. My phone crashed on me. Let me look up the free agent list for MLB baseball. For 2022 to 2023. Let's look that up real quick, right? Now, when it comes to catchers, and also too, if you guys haven't watched, I was with Jason on 161 River Ave. We did a free agent prediction. It was Ball Cap Sports. It was myself and Derek from NYY Recaps. Please, I recommend you to go watch it. It was a good episode, very, very good episode, very good conversation. But when it comes to catching, right? I think the Yankees are going to stick with Jose Trevino. He won a Gold Glove. So the pipe dream of Wilson Contreras, I don't think that's going to happen. But when it comes to the backup position, right, the backup catcher, I would like us to take a shot on Christian Vasquez. He's 31 years old. If you guys remember Christian Vasquez with the Boston Red Sox, he gave us a problem a bunch of times. He was a Yankee killer. Christian Vasquez was a clutch hitter with the Red Sox. So I wouldn't mind bringing Christian Vasquez in a backup capacity to back up Jose Trevino, right? So I think from the catching side of things, I think we're good. Now, when it comes to Anthony Rizzo was 32, right, in free agency. Like I said, I want him back. But if he was to leave, you got Josh Bell out there who's a switch hitter, who I like Josh Bell, and his numbers project better in smaller ballparks than bigger ballparks like he played in San Diego after the trade deadline. So if Anthony Rizzo was to walk, I wouldn't mind us taking a shot on Josh Bell. And you also have Brandon Belt. Brandon Belt may be past his prime. He's 35 years old, but that may be an option to bring in as a backup spot, right? Even if Anthony Rizzo does sign back with us, even if Anthony Rizzo was to walk and we sign Josh Bell, I think bringing in Brandon Belt to be at a backup position, spelling guys here and there, I think that would be a good signing as well. When it comes to the second baseman, you guys already heard me. I'm willing to trade Gleyber Torres. If we could get a package for Gleyber Torres, I'll get a package for Gleyber Torres. Hold on. Mikey Mazza said, Hector, we wanted to know Donaldson's stats from last season. I posted them up earlier, but here they are. 226, 15 home runs, 65 to 75 RBIs. Yeah, Mikey, that was god-awful trash. God-awful. He said, you think how, if he paid attention, he's going to sign 270 for this garbage phone trade. Let's see. He said, you think if Hal paid attention, Boone would still be the manager when he is the worst manager in baseball. Listen, I'm not a fan of Boone. I'm really not. But for some reason, people like him. I don't know. He may have a good personality. He may be a good human being. But as a manager, I'm not sure. I'm just not too sure. And Hal has to be willing to spend that money. Hal needs to be willing to spend that money. And it needs to be smart. You can spend your money and you can spend it stupidly with Josh Donaldson. And I'm going to keep on going back to Josh Donaldson because Josh Donaldson was supposed to be our big splash last offseason. When you have the Mets signing Sterling Marte, when you have the Mets trading for Bassett, when you have the Mets doing everything they did last offseason, the Yankees decided, you know what? Scratch that. We're trading for Josh bleeping Donaldson. Just let that sit with you. Just let that sit with you. When the Mets were killing the back pages, signing Sterling Marte, Canna, even though he had a bad season, they signed Canna, Scherzer, right? Making all the Buck Showalter, right? When the Mets were killing the back pages last offseason, what did the Yankees do? They said, you know what? Scratch that. Hold your beer. I got something for you. We're going to bring in Josh Donaldson and IKF, baby. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's like the worst move to make. Especially hindsight 50-50, you see it. One, Josh Donaldson had a horrible year. Two, IKF Yankee fans just, wanted to kill that man. IKF didn't play in some of the most important games at the end of the season in the postseason. And three, you cleared up money for the Minnesota Twins so they could go out there and spend it on Carlos Correa. There's a big pie in the face. But I digress. If the Yankees go out there, they trade Gleyber Torres for whatever, like I said, in spring training. Have Volpe and Peraza fight for the spots, shortstop and second base. We have DJ already. DJ LeMay is not going to be an everyday second baseman, especially at his age, but he's going to play some games. You can spot DJ at second base and third base. Have a platoon. You can have the infield being Peraza, Volpe, Cabrera, Rizzo, and DJ. DJ can play shortstop. DJ can play second base, third base, and first base. Yeah, that's Cashman, but at the same time, Hal Steinbrenner is okaying certain financial moves. I'm not gonna even talk about Ben Roybet, however you pronounce his last name, because I'm just horrible with his last name. I'm gonna even bring him up because he was just non-existent. That man turned into Patrick Swayze this season. He was ghost for the New York Yankees in their system. Ghost. Patrick Swayze. Let me see. That Hal needs to be smart about how he spends his money, but he needs to spend money on the team. He has to stop spending money on guys past their prime. Absolutely. Brian Cashman needs to stop coming to Hal Steinbrenner with bozo moves. Absolutely agree. When you go to shortstop, that's what I'm saying. We got the young kids. If the whole plan is, you know what, we're not going to spend on a big free agent shortstop, we're not going to do that. Cool. Divert that money to Judge, let the young kids play, and then spend that money someplace else. That makes sense. Like I said, in left field, you could go with Benintendi, who is probably the solid option, being the fact that he has MLB experience. He's done it in the majors. He's a proven commodity at the major league level. Or you have Yoshida. Masataka. I love Yoshida. I love with the potential of what he could do, but he hasn't proven it here in the States. Do we take the gamble on Yoshida? Hopefully he could be another Hideki Matsui. Do we take that gamble? I'm willing to take that gamble. I'm not sure about you guys. I'm willing to take that gamble. Now, if we take that gamble and we sign him, if Aaron Judge walks, Andrew Benintendi is right there. But we need to get Yoshida. For the fact, like I said, that TV deal alone will bring in more revenue for the Yankees, which means the Yankees are going to be willing to spend in other areas, or they should be willing to spend in other areas. All this penny pinching, you need to stop it. You guys are $1 billion franchise that's worth $6.6, $6.8 billion. You got the money to spend. The Yankees, the Steinbrenner family, they have 55% ownership in the Yankees. So if you want to take that 6.8, split that joint in half, that's still $3.4 billion. If not a little bit more because it's 55% instead of 50%. Stop it. This offseason, stop it. The Yankees have to embrace the fact that they are the evil empire. They just do. Now, when it comes to qualifying offers, like I said, Anthony Rizzo hit him with a qualifier. Now, Jameson Taillon, that's someone that I wouldn't hit with a qualifying offer. Because if I'm Jameson Taillon, $19.8 million, it sounds about right. Which team is going to sign Jameson Taillon knowing that he's attached to one of those picks? Right? I'm going to look up Jameson Taillon's contract from this past season. SI is reporting that Jameson Taillon is looking for a 4-year, $60 million contract. I'm not giving that to him. I'm sorry, J-Mo. I know Jameson Taillon, he made every start. I understand that. This past year in 2022, Jameson Taillon made 5 $19.8 million. If I'm Jameson Taillon and you offer me $19.8 million for one season, I'm taking that. But at the same time, he's 30 going on 31, so he may want to lock in a long-term deal. Sports Illustrated, they have it that Jameson Taillon is looking for a 4-year, $60 million contract. So that's $15 million per season. So if you offer 19.8 for 1 year for Taillon, he's taking that. He is taking that. Hold on. Let's set up for this one. Hold on. Last year, the Yankees payroll was $255 million, not $270 million, LI. Secondly, the New York Yankees sell out every game. Why is it that the New York Yankees sell out every game, but the New York Mets, who don't sell out every game, they have a higher payroll? Why is it that for years, us Yankee fans, we were told that the Yankees are just clearing the books? They're trying to get rid of bad contracts. So that way, when free agency hits, we'll be able to go out there and sign Manny Machado and Bryce Harper. Are those two on the Yankees? No, they're not. Why is it that we couldn't go out there and sign a veteran starting pitcher or trade for a veteran starting pitcher like Justin Verlander, but we decided, you know what? Let's go with Sonny Gray instead because he's cheaper. The Yankees' payroll this last season was $255 million. When your team is worth $6.9 or $6.8 billion, there should be no reason that you have the third or fourth highest payroll in baseball. Or even worse, instead of trading for a veteran starting pitcher who's making $20 million like Max Scherzer, you decided to, you know what? Let's trade for James Paxton. Because he's younger and he's cheaper. Was James Paxton a better pickup than Max Scherzer? I don't think so. When Max Scherzer hit free agency, did the Yankees contact his agent? Did the Yankees even have a meeting with Scherzer? No. So this is why I'm saying the Yankees are penny pitching, because instead of going out there and spending the money on Carlos Correa, they decided to spend $26 million on IKF and Josh Donaldson. Now, let me just look up Carlos Correa's contract for this last year. Carlos Correa made $35 million. Exactly. It's about how it's spent. So instead of spending $26 million on Donaldson and IKF, you could have just spent an extra $9 million and got Carlos Correa. Or how about this? Check this out. How about this? Instead of spending money on Aaron Hicks like you did in 2018, because Aaron Hicks made $10 million, if you didn't spend that money on Aaron Hicks back in 2018, you would have had $10 million free. If you ain't spend that money on Josh Donaldson and IKF, put that $26 million with Aaron Hicks' $10 million, and that's Carlos Correa. You cannot tell me that Aaron Hicks, Josh Donaldson, and IKF, those three players are a better option than Carlos Correa. Is this Moneyball? Are we in the movie Moneyball when it comes to the Yankees and their spending and their finances? No. Absolutely not. Let me look up MLB payrolls for this past season. MLB team payroll 2022. Let me look that up real quick. Oh my God, it's even less. So after the trade deadline, when we brought in Benintendi, when we brought in Frank Montas, at the beginning of the season, the Yankees payroll was $245 million. After trades, after the trade deadline, the Yankees payroll, they ended it with a $264 million payroll. The New York Mets have a $287 million payroll, and the Dodgers have a $275 million payroll. Then you have the Yankees in third with a $267 million payroll. Then the Philadelphia Phillies are in fourth place with a $256 million payroll. Then you have the San Diego Padres, who have a $240 million payroll. Then the Boston Red Sox have a $225 million payroll. The Chicago White Sox have a $214 million payroll. Now, I'm going to just do something real quick. Hold on. Sorry, I had to move my camera real quick. My apologies. But let me just do something real quick. All right. Now, check this out. All right. So, check this out. Like I said, what is God, Maria? Like I was talking about. In 2009, when this team was evaluated at $1.9 billion, the Yankees had the number one payroll in all of baseball at $209 million. The second place team in 2009, when it comes to payroll, was the New York Mets with $137 million. $137 million. So in 2009, when you was valued at $1.9 billion, you were number one in payroll for the team with $209 million. In 2022, you were third in Major League Baseball with $264 million. The team that was second to you in 2009 has leapfrogged and is number one in total payroll. Now, hold on. And when it comes to the Mets, the New York Mets are valued at $2.65 billion. The Houston Astros have a $190 million payroll. But the Houston Astros also sign their players when they're young, like Alex Bregman, like Jose Altuve. But the New York Mets are valued at $2.65 billion. The Yankees are valued at $6.8 billion. In 2009, the Yankees were number one in payroll at a valuation of $1.9 billion. But in 2022, when that is tripled or quadrupled, they are third place in total spending. The team in first place is literally valued at half of the same value as your team. As a Yankee fan, when we spend money with this team, I'm just flustered all over the place. When we spend money with this team, when we go to the games and we spend $130 for the third level seats, when we go to the games and we spend $50 on parking, when we go to the games and we spend $20 to $30 on chicken tendies for one meal, when we buy the package for Amazon, when we buy the package for Apple TV, when we buy the package for the Major League Network if we're outside the tri-state area, and we buy the package for yes because we are in the tri-state area and we want to watch our team. Us as Yankee fans, we put so much money into this team out of our own pockets, but for some reason, the guys at top figured, you know what, we're not going to spend that much, or we're not going to spend like we used to. Why? I have no idea why. I have no idea why. Mathematically, it makes no sense. Hold on. Jesus Christ. When the Mets were owned by the Wilpons in 2009, they were valued at, drum roll please, $900 million. A little over $900 million. The Yankees were valued at $1.9 million. The Yankees were first place. The Mets were second place in payroll. 2022, the Yankees are valued 4 times more than what they were, twice as what the Mets are this year, but the Mets have a higher payroll. Tell me that makes sense. I'm waiting because it doesn't make sense for me. Let me touch on to the chat real quick. Hold on. Maria says, "Hello, Hector. How are you doing? Let's go Yankees." Maria, I was doing a little bit better before I started looking into these numbers a little bit more, but Howe is treating his father's legacy as a joke. He doesn't want to win as much. And now, with all that being said, with all those numbers that come up, right? How much the team is worth, how much profits they made from the stadium alone. You got to understand this. When the numbers come out of how much the Yankees made, revenue, right? That's revenue. Talking about profits. This is after the bills were paid and everything like that. Off of the stadium alone, after payroll was done for the players, after the taxes was paid on the land, after bills were paid, the Yankees are sitting at 600 mil off of the stadium alone. That's not even telling us what the Yes deal is. That's not even telling us what the Apple TV deal is. That's not even telling us what the Amazon Prime deal is. Now, people want to say, oh, well, you know what? That Apple TV is Major League Baseball. Yeah, but the Yankees still get a cut of it. That may be a Major League Baseball deal, but it's still a cut that the Yankees get. If you think that the Yankees don't touch any of that money, there's something wrong with you. Oh, top of the line running. What is good? He said, brother man, appreciate the understanding. I'm way under the weather, but I feel good to go for next Thursday. Listen, Jason, I knew that was you. Listen, Jason, don't worry, bro. We'll figure it out next week, Thursday, but just feel better. You know, take that vitamin C package. Make sure you just feel better, bro. That's all I care about, my guy. As long as you're feeling better, that's all that matters. But Jason, I want to get your take on this, Jason, because I was just talking about it when it comes to the Yankees payroll. Let me know in the chat what you think real quick. Because the Yankees payroll, the Yankees, they spent $260 million this past year. Third in Major League Baseball, right? When they're valued at $6.8 billion, right? In 2009, Jason, when the Yankees won the World Series, the team was valued at $1.9 billion, right? They had a payroll of $209 million, number one in all of baseball. The second place team right behind them was the New York Mets at $113 million payroll. Back then in 2009, the Mets were valuated at a little over $900 million. Today in 2022, the Mets are valued at $2.4 billion, but they have a higher payroll than the Yankees, who are valued at $6.8 billion. Now, you let me know if that makes sense to you or not. You let me know if that's something that, okay, we shouldn't look into or not, because I think that's a big deal, especially with the amount of money that us Yankee fans pour into this franchise. When it comes to merchandise, when it comes to ticket sales, when it comes to food purchasing at the stadium, when it comes to parking at the stadium. If you guys haven't been trying to find parking by Yankee Stadium, ooh, I have nothing coming for you. Oh, Alan Landsman with the stats. He said, House spends 29% of the revenue, which is a joke. They need to up it to 40%. Alan, right there. If I hold on, let me just star that. Let me star that comment right there. Because you are absolutely right, bro. Jason says, relatively speaking, with their insane profit margins, you think they would be over $300 million for payroll on a regular. We pay buku dollars to go and watch their games. Exactly, Jason. Exactly. And don't get me wrong, we got to spend the money smart, right? You can't just go out there and just spend money just to spend money blindly. I'm not saying that, right? But what I am saying is, if you're willing to bring in $26 million in payroll for Josh Donaldson and IKF, why not go the extra mile and spend that extra $10 million to go out there and sign Carlos Correa to play shortstop or third base? Why are we helping other teams? Why are we taking bad contracts from other teams to help them get Carlos Correa? Why is it that we offer Justin Verlander a deal, and instead of adding an extra $5 million to make him more rich than what the Houston Astros offered him, we relatively just gave him this? I mean, we basically just gave him the same contract. Of course, he's going to take the money where he's more comfortable at. You got to put your money where your mouth is, spend it smartly, and not be scared to spend it. Listen, as much as I love Big G, right? As much as I like Giancarlo Stanton, us trading for Giancarlo Stanton was a reactionary move because we didn't get Shohei Ohtani. Bingo. Jason just said it perfectly. He said if they win in New York, especially the World Series, there's nothing more profitable. Absolutely. They bring in an extra 20 to 22 million in profits every postseason game. That's a fact. Every game, not just the postseason, every game, they bring that money in. So it's just ridiculous that, you know what, we're not going to spend the extra $10 million because we got to be fiscally responsible, huh? When us Yankee fans aren't fiscally responsible when we go and purchase your product, you want to talk to us about fiscal responsibility? How about this? Us Yankee fans, right? We're going to start being more fiscally responsible when we go to the stadium. I'm going to start bringing in gluten-free food so they can't tell me at the gates I can't bring it in because it's gluten-free and you guys have no stands in Yankee Stadium that are good for people that have gluten intolerancies. How about that? It's just laughable, bro. It's just laughable at this point. It really is. And like I said, as much as I love Big G, right? As much as I love Giancarlo Stanton, that move was a reactionary move because we didn't get Shohei Ohtani, right? The Mets were killing the back pages. Buck Showalter, Sterling Marte, Max Scherzer. The Mets are back. Steve Coleman's taking over the town. So what was the Yankees' reactionary move? They went out there and traded for Josh Donaldson and IKF. Jason said, I love it. I'm stuffing my pants with candies and a hero sandwich. Absolutely. I'm going right to the deli that's on 164th in the Grand Concourse. I'm going right over there ordering me a chopped cheese. I'm getting me a pack of Now and Laters, right? I'm getting me some peanut chews, and I'm getting me some Swedish fishes. and I'm stuffing them all in my socks. You're not telling me nothing. But no, like last time I went to the stadium, I was pretty pissed off. Well, one of the last times, because I went there with a tripod, right? Normally I go through gate 4, but this time I went through gate 6 because I wanted to be closer to the bleachers so I could go to the right field stands for batting practice. And the Gustabos, right? The CIA security guards that were at gate 6 made me throw out my cell phone holder, my tripod that I spent $60 on. But the Yankees want to talk about being fiscally responsive when your security guards are throwing out my $60 tripod. Yes, I'm petty for bringing that up. But guys, I'm going to cut it off right here, just because if I keep on ranting, I'm going to just lose my voice. And I got to save that because I got another show tomorrow. But guys, please make sure you like this video, right? Hit that like button. If you aren't subscribed and you're just tuning in, hit that subscribe button because you're missing a lot of things we got going over here at KOD. KOD Media is the brand, and we are doing a lot of big things. Oh, yeah. We got the virtual baseball league that we got going on. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. My man, Eric Wallace, he came in at the last moment, but better late than never. Eric Wallace, what it do, baby? Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Listen, oh, yeah, that beer, too. You know, we got that nice Adijan beer. If you're in New York City, make sure you go to the Gramercy Ale House, which is on 23rd and 3rd Avenue, and make sure you ask for Chef Eric and ask for the Dijon Brew. But guys, this has been another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. I am your host, Hector. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. My man, NY Yankee King. Even though we was going back and forth in the comments, that's still my guy, Pots and Pans. Chris the Flash, of course. Make sure you catch me and Jason next week. Jason from 161 River Ave will be joining me next week, Thursday. Next week, Tuesday, I may do an open panel. I'm not too sure, depending on how I feel, because the Knicks have been trashed so far this early season. So let me see how I feel after the next game this weekend. But like I said, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody that out there who tuned in, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This has been another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. And like always, a peace out.